What's up, everyone? Let me lower the music in my ear a little bit. I like the festive music, but it's a little bit obnoxious. How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday. This is the first stream back on our original streaming schedule. We were streaming at noon Pacific Standard Time for like the first month or two, and then my schedule switched up to, working, and so we had switched to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which worked for me, but a lot of people tuning in are not here in the States, so hopefully this is a little bit better. Yeah, I'm excited. Today we are going to be unboxing and building a printer. It's gonna be this guy over here, which I'll change up things a little bit, but this is the Fokoos, it's the Odin-5 F3, and if you try saying that 10 times fast, good luck. But yeah, I'm excited. This is a printer that I have seen around quite a bit. Quite a few people over on Twitter that I follow, as well as a couple other creators, have reviewed this machine. And so we got it in, I think, about a week and a half ago. And there are some things on it that I definitely like, which we'll go over in a second here. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Let's see. Let me switch back over face cam for a second here. It's been a busy week on my end, in a good way. Tunky says that's no Christmas vibe music, that's romantic time music. What's going on, Supa? What's up, DC? G Funny is here. Yeah, so I'm excited. Man, let's see, what's happened the last week here? So last week we built the Ender 7 and I ran that test print. I think I calculated that it was gonna be like 8 or 9 hours, and man, that thing ramped up the speed and it ended up being, I think, under 5 hours. I will say that that is a very, very loud printer. Erin doesn't often complain about printers, but when that machine was printing, she said that it was obnoxious. And I did a bunch of video footage of it over the last week here just to kind of get footage for when I do get the review of it. And I opened the bottom of it and actually discovered that there was massive drivers underneath it. I actually posted it over on Twitter. Let me show you guys this. I've never seen these before in a 3D printer. Let me see. Let's see here. If you didn't see it, I want to show you guys this. Yeah, here we go. Let's see. Sorry, my cameras are a little bit funky because I'm gonna be, let me move it. Hey, Maker's back. So let's go over to desktop view. Yeah, so I opened the bottom of the Ender 7 and I discovered these as the drivers. And I also thought that the motors seemed beefy and discovered that they are not NEMA 17, I think they're NEMA 23 is what I was told. And so that's the reason why they needed these beefy external drivers, and that is probably also the contributing factor as to why it is super loud. But then again, I mean, they're advertising speed with it. So typically, I mean, even with my little Voron Zero, when I'm cranking up the speed on it, it's not exactly a quiet printer, but yeah, that thing is loud. So we will have to do some more printing and kind of see how that goes. But I was really surprised when I sort of popped the hood on it. So yeah, getting into it's pronounced Fokoos, I believe, the Odin-5 F3. We'll kind of go over and take a look at the machine itself, of course, as we're unboxing it, but just as a brief little kind of look at it, looks like right now price on it is right around under $300, which I believe the build volume is the same. No, it is a bit smaller. So it's like Ender 3 size, so 235 by 235 by 250. I thought it was actually a bit larger than that. But the things I do like about it is that it does have a direct drive extruder. I think it's sort of like a, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it's similar to an Aero clone, although it doesn't look like it based off this photo. And I do like that it has a Volcano heater block on it. So that is also a pretty cool thing. Typically having that means that you'll have a little bit quicker flow, and depending on what your goal is, but if you want to throw a larger nozzle on it, that definitely should help you with being able to, you know, print a bit quicker and push some more filament. So yeah, and I think it should be pretty well, pretty close to assembled, which should mean that this will be very simple. Hey, what's up, 75? Steven's here. What else has happened? Oh yeah, okay, so I was really surprised. For anyone that doesn't follow me on Twitter, I usually post kind of upcoming things, kind of post things randomly here and there, but this showed up in the mail. Oh, so, oh, is that my address? No, yeah, maybe, I don't know. So this showed up, and I wasn't expecting this for a couple more weeks, so that's cool. So next week we're gonna be building the Prusa Mini. This is the semi-assembled version, so I think it's gonna be fairly quick. I still believe it takes a couple of hours from what I heard, but I could be incorrect. And I actually, because I was sort of too excited to wait, I did get a super Pinda in, and so the Prusa Mini that I bought a month ago used that had the original, Minda, not the Super Minda, or the original Pinda, the one that supposedly isn't as accurate, came in, the new one. And so I completely tore down the Prusa Mini and I upgraded all the parts using the parts I printed out for the clone Mini I'm gonna be building. So I'll have to reprint those out. But I am really happy with the way that it looks and turned out. Watch, let me show you guys this too. And then we'll get into the actual unboxing. So this was it in the standard kind of black and orange Prusa colors. And I love these colors, like it's kind of the signature thing. The issue is when I bought it off of this guy locally, it was nighttime and it looked good. Like I looked at it from the front, was like, yeah, this thing looks good. He said it's basically brand new. What I didn't see was on the back side of it, this is all white paint, like overspray. So this guy was moving and that's why he was getting rid of a couple machines. He was downsizing, and I guess while he was doing some home improvement, something that he was spraying in aerosol form got on the Prusa Mini, and it didn't seem to have much issue on its functionality. Like I've printed probably 150 hours on it, but aesthetically it was a huge eyesore. And so I swapped out all the pieces, and so now it is black and gray. I used, what did I use? The black was no name. The silver was Polylite, or the gray was Polylite, and the black was, I can't think of the name right now. I bought it off Amazon. Dynamic. I think Dynamic is what it is, or Duramic. So yeah, I think it looks a lot better. And yeah, it's all cleaned up. And then also, again, the Super Pinda is now on here. I didn't have any issues with the regular probe that was on here, but since I was tearing it down, I figured I would, I might as well swap it out. I will say that if you, tearing down the Prusa Mini to rebuild it sucked. I thought it was going to be like something I could knock out in an afternoon. It was a lot of work, and part of the reason was that in the Prusa Mini, there is a ton of these little M3 square nuts, and they are very difficult to get out. I basically had to take little flush cutters and cut into all the parts to try to save all those M3 square nuts, because I don't have any. The only ones I had came with the Voron 0.1 from LDO, and I had used all of them but 2. So cutting out all the different parts sucked. I think I stabbed myself somewhere. But yeah, it was probably like a 6-hour event. And so I still am happy I did it, but I definitely would say that tearing down a Prusa Mini to rebuild it just for fun wouldn't exactly be my idea of a super fun time. That also though, if you have everything, like if you buy it as a kit from Prusa where it's all nicely labeled in bags, it's probably a much better experience than having to tear things down and then you've just got this set, all these screws and parts laid out with no labels. It didn't make it any easier, but yeah, I am really happy with the end result, but man, the process was a lot more involved than I thought it was gonna be. So anyways, yeah, we'll build the Prusa Mini next week. Let's get back into this now. Let me go ahead and kind of move things over here to this camera and shift this stuff around so I can see you guys. What's everybody been up to? I will say, and I know that it's just the box, but I've had a lot of printer boxes come through my front door, and this is probably the nicest printer box. And again, I know it's just a box, but the fact that they spent the extra money and time to make sure that their packaging looks nice has me optimistic that maybe they didn't cut corners, and hopefully they, you know, they checked all of the things. So normally, I mean, when printers show up, it's just in a standard like cardboard box. I mean, Prusa's box is kind of the signature way that they do things with just the cardboard, but this is a really, really nice box, and I could see this on a shelf in an actual store. Let's see, Zeron's here, Speedy's here. What's going on, Speedy? And yeah, I don't know if you saw, but I did all the parts I'd printed out for the 5-sec Prusa Mini clone that I'm going to be building. I ended up using all of those to actually rebuild the Prusa Mini that I had that had some overspray on it. So I bought 2 and 2 of the spools, so 2 of the black, 2 of the gray. So I'm just going to reprint all the parts again for the Prusa Mini, so that way I have those for when I do build the 5-sec clone. Hey, Asker's here. What's going on, man? CNC's here. Man, a lot of people made it to the early stream. Yeah, so we'll get into this in just a short second here. I did want to say thank you to everybody. I saw that we hit 500 subscribers over the past week, which is awesome. I think we've been streaming on here now for probably 2-ish months. It sounds about right. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. This was sort of a side project I've been wanting to do for a long time, and so far it's been great, and I definitely don't have any plans of stopping anytime soon. For the immediate future, streams will be back to this time, which is noon Pacific Standard, so hopefully that's better for just about everybody. Let's see, having a nice box. If you were going to slice something after building it, but you should keep your attractants at least under. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is the folding printer. I know I know it's not early for you, but it's early for compared to what it was. Yeah, that is one of the things that they advertise, is that the printer folds. Honestly, like, I feel like that's more of a, maybe I just don't have the need for it, but it seems like that's more of a gimmicky thing than actually practical. But yeah, supposedly there is like 2 screws, I think, and the whole frame can fold. I did see someone that mentioned that could be really cool for trying to convert it to like a belt or angled printer, which there's definitely some maybe validity to that. But well, it does look packaged really nicely. You guys kind of have the overhead cam. Let's see if we'll go to that for a second. Let's see. I hear the gardeners, which means that my dog is gonna be freaking out. Come on, camera. Well, it's gonna be at an angle. Let's see. Whew. So we've got a little spool of, again, white PLA. Anyone that was here on my last stream knows that I don't understand. Okay, we did discuss white does hide certain imperfections, but I feel like white filament is always the most problematic because of the pigments needed inside of it to make it white. So not really crazy about that. We'll check a look at the accessories in a moment. Wow, yeah, this is, it's like already in one piece. Let's see. I'm gonna try to keep the box nice. You guys are probably gonna hear the leaf blower in just a second. Here's my dog, my poor puppy. So, 1 second. For anyone that doesn't know, we've got let's play some music. We've got 2 dogs, and one of them, her name is Delilah. Let's go back to the unbox cam. So one of them, her name is Delilah. She's like a 10-year-old lab pit mix. And then there's Monkey, he's the little one you've seen a few times. And he's super mellow inside the house, but outside of the house, the second he goes out the front door, something like snaps, and he's super paranoid and really sketchy. At our last place, a dog ran up to him and he bit the dog. And so I have major trust issues with him, but I feel bad because like he just freaks out. And so maybe 5 minutes before the stream was starting, he ran over to me, jumped up on my leg and was just shaking like he just wanted to be over here. And so he's hiding in the corner underneath my chair, and I don't know if it's the gardeners that are freaking him out or what's going on. Hey, Monkey, come here. Come here, you okay? You wanna say hi to the camera? Come here, come on. Come on, Bubba. You're okay, you're okay. Wanna say hi? Oh, ooh, here he is. Look at right there, say hi. You're okay, kiddo. You're okay. Is it the gardeners? Yeah, he's freaking out. He's shaking a little bit. You're okay, dude. They come every week. I felt bad though, of course, like right when I was going live. My concern is that it might come loose over time. That's true. One thing that I will say, again, like as we just saw, this is the most put together printer I've ever seen out of the box that doesn't advertise that it's already put together. Gardeners, I love it. So that's pretty insane. This is how it came out of the box. I figured it was going to be fairly put together. I guess they're trying to really show off their kind of foldability. Hopefully the gardeners will leave in a minute. That's funny. Let's go to the overhead camera for a second. How do you like the Prusa Mini? I love the Prusa Mini so far, Zeron. That's the one that I've had for a bit, and I just printed, I mean, I don't know how the camera doesn't, these cameras suck. Eventually, like when it's time to upgrade the streaming setup, I will get a secondary camera that's good like this primary camera here. But I rebuilt it with all the printed parts, the used one, and put the new Super Pinda in. And this is like the first actual print. I just did it off this morning, and it is really, really clean. I haven't done benchies in a while. I got kind of, not burnt out on benchies, but you can only, I feel like after a while you gotta print some other stuff. So I was like, you know what, let's just throw a classic benchy on here, and man, like it looks so good. And this filament is really, really old. I just opened it not too long ago, but I've had it for like 3 years. But yeah, I mean, everything from like the overhangs to the details, like it looks great. So we're gonna build the second one. This is one I bought on Black Friday from Prusa. I was hoping they had a sale, which they did not, which was a bummer. And then we're also gonna be building a clone hopefully in the next couple of weeks here. So that way we have like this one that is new, and then the clone that we're building, and just kind of see performance-wise, you know, if there are any differences or not. Yeah, there is the whole line. You're talking about, hold on, let's see, side. You talking about right here? Or actually right, where the hell is it? It's like right here. There's one line. Other than that, I think it looks awesome. And this is, I mean, it's just with the stock profile. I basically rebuilt it, clicked generic PLA. I changed the temp, I think, by 5 Celsius, but other than that, it's the same. The gardener is right here. It's almost like a meme. Usually the gardeners come at 8 o'clock in the morning, but they knew that I was streaming early, so they decided to wait. Awesome. Okay, yeah, I mean, just looking at it though, I was like, this is amazing for just, you know, again, I wasn't concerned that when I rebuilt it I did anything wrong, but I was concerned, I wanted to make sure it was performing correctly, so I ran all the self-tests, everything checked out, and it was my first time using the Super Pinda, and it seems to be working great, so yeah, I'm really, really happy about it. I know, the poor pupper. You're okay, buddy. Yeah, the gardeners, man. Okay, so let's see really quickly here what's in the accessory box. Let's see. Ah, I dropped the. Let's go overhead. So there is a quick start guide. So straighten the machine, install the rack, plug in the cables, check it for the screws, like check the essential. Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same setup as any of these style machines, except that you don't have to bolt the bottom. I will not miss this. Sorry guys. All right, what else do we got? So we've got some T-nuts, couple looks like spare parts, spatula, definitely a different kind of spatula. I actually might like this spatula more because it's thinner than the typical one and it's also a bit more rigid. I feel like it might be easier to get underneath. Let's see, my Prusa Mini is my go-to for the moment, works great too. It's actually a group of us. I saw your address on the box earlier. Thanks, DC. I've always like, well, I'm not super paranoid about it, but like I'm always like thinking, gotta get rid of address. Are there places to buy super pindas outside of the Prusa yet? I don't think so. I don't think so. I know that Printed Solid seems to carry some spare parts. Okay, we got ribbon cables for Prusa, but I don't think they have that yet. It's a tiny little spool holder. Power supply, standard USB cable, little end pieces for the extrusions, spool holder, flush cutters, needle for unclogging, tools. I don't know if we'll need all these tools, but cool. And then yeah, the nozzles are Volcano style. Again, it does have a Volcano style heat block, so that is cool. So I bought an original Zerent. I bought an original, and then we've got a flash drive. Let me see here. So yeah, I bought an original. My plan was thinking that Prusa was going to have free shipping, which shipping is like $50-ish from there to the States. And maybe they were gonna throw in like a bed or something like that. So I waited, and I was gonna buy like 2 minis, and then Black Friday came and they had absolutely no sales on the minis at all. It was just not even free shipping. So I was really bummed out. Wasn't sure what I was gonna do. I still decided to buy one just because I want another one. This one again was used and I wanna see what the Prusa Mini is like brand new, which this one, other than being covered in paint, was lightly used. So I anticipate the quality and stuff will be very similar, but still I wanted to get the latest version of it. And then with the clone, I have mixed feels. So like in general, I mean, I've used clones. I don't really have anything against clones, but I do like the FiSec is a 1-to-1 clone. And so I know that like some people don't really appreciate when it's just a blatant copy, but I am still understanding the fact that if you can save, like again, because shipping, like, let's just say, you know, right now the lead time on a full kit Prusa Mini, I think when I checked, was like a month and a half or something like that. And so you basically have to get the semi-assembled one if you want to get it quicker, which is what I did. And then shipping's $50. And so I think the difference in price, I think it's isn't it 400, I believe is what I paid plus shipping. So 450 versus 250. So like, I also could understand that like for people running a print farm or that want to get the best bang for their buck, like that's a huge difference in price. And the wait time, like I know that Fabrico, who I think that I'm partnering up with Fabrico for the FiSec Prusa Mini build that we're gonna do on stream, he has them in the States. And so you can order it and get it the same week versus waiting a month and a half. So I definitely have interest in the clone as well. Hey, Carl's here. Huge thank you to Carl, because Carl actually reached out to Fokoos and I believe it, like, you know, said, hey, would you guys want to send one over to Modbot for one of his videos or one of his streams? So he's the reason they got in touch with me. So thank you, Carl. I'm excited. The first impressions so far are sweet. I pulled it out of the box and it's definitely, you know, nearly full assembled, which is cool. Especially again, like considering, let's say this is someone's first printer, you know, having it already ready to rock and roll is definitely a plus. All right, so we've got rid of the foam. There is a zip tie up top, but it looks like, so we need to straighten it out. I'm assuming that's what those couple of screws are for. Let me check the quick start guide. Hey, Local's here. Local, Local just was talking to me about the Pi Zeros for, I think, were you gonna use them for Octoprint? I believe, right? Not for Clipper. I'm actually blown away by the 5.6 mini clone print quality. The build was also fun. Got mine from Fabrico. Yeah, so it's like, again, it's one of those things where I do appreciate supporting the original on something, and I do think that it also helps with their ability to continue doing what they're doing. But then I also see the other side of it as like let's say I ran a print farm and I needed like 20 printers and I decided the Prusa Mini was going to be the one. Well, if the quality difference between the clone and the original is negligible, then that's a pretty big savings. I mean, it's a massive savings. The only thing I will say though is that if you are using these for a farm, based off my experience with tearing down my Prusa Mini and building it, you're gonna spend a lot of hours if you go with the 5.6 and print out all the parts and build the kit yourself. Like it took me, I don't know what it took you, Zerent or Speedy, but it was like 6 hours roughly for me to tear down the Prusa Mini, which was maybe about an hour, and then 5-ish hours to rebuild it. And so you times that by, let's just say 20 printers, like you have to pay somebody to build them all if you're not doing them yourself, which your time is valuable too. So there's, you know, there are pros to going with the sort of semi-assembled version as well, but I see both sides of it. 1 second, guys. Usually Lisa's here to remind you guys to hit the like button, so please hit the like button. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing built. So it says to lift it up to 90 degrees. And there's just one screw on each side. Interesting. Is that right? No, there's two. Okay, cool. That worried me for a second. I was like, that does not seem like it would be rigid enough. But yeah, basically, I mean, it pivots really nicely. I wonder what, there's gotta be some kind of bearing going through the base. But then there's one screw on each side, Let's see what we've got here. Not break this thing. If you guys want, we can open the bottom of this one too. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Nope. Where are my good screwdrivers? Ooh. See if I can get the second one lined up. Oops. I also think that my nose is itching. I also think that the clone comes with the filament runout sensor for the Mini. Can you confirm that, Speedy or Zerant? Which is an extra 20 bucks if you buy it too, so there's that. I think I need more light, maybe. Let me turn this one inside real quick. I'm just putting them in loose right now so that way I can get both sides. I want you to use white filament. All right, we'll use the white filament this time. It's just not gonna let you see very many details. I do like the housing, it kind of makes it look like a toy a little bit because of the injection molded yellow plastic, but it's different and I can appreciate that. Yeah, it's all injection molded, even the fan shroud on it. Pivot points are just screws with a little point in them, not perfect. Oh, okay, okay. Why is this not coming in? Oh, it is. Okay, let me stand this guy up. Stabbed it. I actually think I know what the test print on here, if there is more than one, I'm not sure, but I did see that somebody won one of these over on the Oil Moses show on Twitch, and I think that the default model is like the owl sitting on a perch with a hat, maybe, which is kind of a cool model. I like it. I know that a couple companies use that as their, I think Anycubic also uses it as their, is Aaron calling me? Nope, it's my cousin. All right, these are pretty tight. All right, so we've got it upright. Next it says, spool holder needs to go on top, which we can do shortly. Insert the clips, check the screws, that's it. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and open it up. The quickest is a small base or Fokoos. Oh, okay, cool. We will maybe vote to see what we want to print. All right, let me go ahead and get this opened up. Let's see. Nope, that's too small. Perfect. It looks like the power supply, I want to make sure I have it set correctly too. I think it was Aaron that reminded me last stream to make sure I had it set to 120 and not 240. All right, let's see what we got. Well, it definitely is routed pretty nicely. They've got ferrule connectors on all of the, like the heated bed, power going in, and the hot end, which is nice. Those are very beefy. Heat sinks. Power supply is a 24 volt, 240 watt power supply. They've also got a cooling fan, which is nice to see for the bed. They've got an exhaust fan, which is nice to see. It looks like they use a little bit of hot glue to keep all the plugs in, and it also looks like they've got some expansion ports, which I would imagine, I have to do some looking, but I would imagine, it's the Maker Base Robin Nano 1.2. But yeah, it must have expansion ports for probes. I'd have to look online. There's even a big expansion port right here, which I would imagine looks like it'd be for a different screen of sorts. But yeah, I mean, I would say it looks pretty good. There's plenty of space down here. Let me make sure the power supply is set correctly. It looks like it is. No, it's not. It's not actually. So the power supply, the switch on the power supply, I guess, is one small complaint. It's 110. It is set correctly. So it is a switching power supply. Basically, you could just shove something through and oh, cool, Wi-Fi board. Nice, nice. I'm not sorry if I want to watch your videos, but I'm gonna double check. Did you have to solder anything? Jamie, I'm still looking at ways to mod this. I feel like I missed a lot of chat. Sorry, guys. Did I have to solder anything? Not yet. Yes and no. So I did have to solder for the accelerometer, the pin headers. Knowing how to solder isn't going to be a bad thing, especially if you want to do some mods like LEDs and stuff like that. But for the actual LDO kit install, I did not have to do any soldering, I don't believe. $250 is a little low compared to, I think a lot of the similar size machines are around $350 that I've seen lately. I mean, it is only a 235 by 235 millimeter build volume compared to, I think some of the other ones I've checked out lately were like 12 by 12, so it would make sense. But yeah, it's definitely not a ton, like I would definitely not say you'd want to run a lot of additional things off of here, other than maybe like a Pi Zero of sorts. But yeah, cool. I think I'm happy with what I see underneath here. Oh no. We lost the feet. Oh man. It's like a nightmare to find anything over here too. There we go, we got them. So the feet were sticking on and I thought that maybe they were glued in place. They were not. They were just stuck on there from pressure. But yeah, I mean, I would say that it's nice, and there's also, again, seeing expansion ports is cool. I would assume, again, one of them has got to be for some sort of a BL Touch or auto bed leveling. Carl's saying that there is also a Wi-Fi module that you can add onto it. It's probably what, like in one of the 80, no, I'm thinking of, it's probably ESP-based Wi-Fi module, right, that you can add on? Let me make sure, nope. Yep. I mean, the cool thing is too, like if you wanted to add Octoprint to this, or if you wanted to clipperize it, there is at least some space that you can make for something like a Pi Zero or the Pi 2.0, which is always nice. There's definitely some machines where I've opened up the bottom and I'm like, there is no space for anything in here. If I can get this lined up again. Cool. MKS Wi-Fi, okay, cool, yeah. Carl knows a lot more about this machine than I do for sure. Jamie said, love your channel. Thank you very much. I'm gonna be buying a Prusa Mini. Nice. Well, my experience so far with it is that you will not be disappointed. I definitely can see the appeal. I also did order a MKS3 Plus that one is a full kit, and I just got notification today that it'll ship. So we'll be building that on live stream over the course of 1 or 2 streams. Yeah, there was apparently the Christmas music DC and Tunky think is trying to set the mood. Once this month is up, I'm gonna remove that album from the stream playlist, but it felt appropriate after Thanksgiving. Do you know, Carl, if they have an upgrade path if you do want to swap out the heat break on this to make it all metal? Because I know that on some of these sort of style machines or similar machines that use like kind of the Volcano, I guess it's not quite an Aero, but that they just need to swap out the heat break to something like a titanium, and then you can actually print with higher temp material. I'm not sure if that's the case with this. My Ender 7 is okay. My Under 7 on D20 we're printing. What are you printing? Is it a specific, like the same model, or? You missed what I was talking about the Under 7 earlier, I think, Carl. It is crazy loud. And then I don't know if you saw, hey, Lisa's here. I don't know if you saw what I posted over on Twitter, that I opened up the bottom of it, and the steppers inside of it are massive external steppers, which is contributing to why it's so loud. And then Nero chimed in and said that it's because that they're using NEMA 23s, so they can't be powered by the same like TMC style steppers. Come on, last screw. There you are. Oh, you know what? This one was kind of tough to get out. Let me change up the angle on this. It's always the last screw. That is not lining up. Oh. Hold on, let me loosen these two really quick so I can slide it. I didn't think I tightened it all the way, but. Once I've got this last screw on, we can either finish the assembly, which is basically just, again, the insert ribbon cables, and maybe it's this one. Yeah, the sheet metal's like off by just a hair. I think I got it. Yeah, I did. Cool. So yeah, we can either finish the build, which is just basically plugging in cables, adding the spool holder, and then powering it on, or if you want, we can take apart the hot end slash, well, not take apart the hot end, but I can take off the fan housing for the extruder and hot end if we want to take a closer look at that. It's up to you guys. Don't get screwed by the last screw. Yeah, it is very loud. I can hear mine in my print shed. Whew. You have a print shed? I am jealous. Yeah, Aaron, I said earlier, okay, so I do like that there are dual lead screws. Not that a machine of this size has to have them, but it is very nice. Do you know, Carl, if it's enabled in the firmware that you can actually have it tram the Z? Well, I guess you would need auto bed leveling, so never mind. But yeah, Erin doesn't often complain about printers, but the Under 7, she did say, is obnoxious as far as volume goes. So yeah, dual lead screws is always cool to see. Are they connected? They are not connected by anything it doesn't look like, which hopefully won't be an issue. I know that on my, on the Surmoon, God, that printer, I could not keep these two sides aligned. Like I would get it aligned, run a print, and then one would sag a little bit, so that was frustrating. So what do you guys want to do? Let me scoot my face this way so I'm actually in camera. Yeah, so do we want to take apart the cover on this really quick to get a look at kind of what's underneath, or do we want to plug in the, where am I? Oh, you know what? It came with flush cutters. Or do we want to plug in the ribbon cables and just kind of get printing? You okay, monkey? I feel like I can hear his upset stomach from here. Asker says hot end. Yeah, it's got to be PTFE. I wouldn't be jealous. It's out with cold here, smooth. Oh, gotcha. I mean, still, even not having a big print shed is still better than no print. Okay, two say start printing. Tunky says start printing. It's pretty boring to see. Do you have one of these, Tunky? Or you just have seen videos? I just cut the one zip tie that came on it. It's only 3 screws, and let's just do it real quick, yeah? Because there's only 3 screws, so let me really quick just take these off, and then I promise after that we will be pedal to the metal. So there's 1 on top, 2 on the side. Oh, there is, cool. I would imagine, let's see if you guys can see this. Let me move this camera a little bit closer. So yeah, you can see that. So there's actually, wait, I'm wrong. This looks like it would be a mount for some kind of auto bed leveling, but they're actually not through the entire thing, so I don't know what those are for. Interesting. I was tricked. Interesting. Yeah, when I saw those, like looking top down, it looked like they would have been through holes, so that way you can mount the BL Touch easily on here or something like that. I was wrong. It is monkey's stomach I'm hearing. Dude, poor kid. I get it. Like, outside's scary. All right, really quickly here. Oh, cool. Well, that came off really easily. All right, let's turn this so we can take a look real quick. So it does use a breakout board on this side. That's what the ribbon cable goes into. All of the fans, when I say all the fans, there's 2 fans. So this fan and this fan both plug into this little board, and they are easily accessible from the top, which is nice. So let me show you guys that too. They're all right here on the top, so that's cool that they're, you know, you don't even have to really remove the breakout board if you don't want to, if you need to swap out something. So we've got 1 blower fan. The shroud is injection molded, yellow like the other part, and then 1 fan here, and then the extruder is aluminum at least, which is cool. Yeah, aluminum extruder. And then the hot end, I know this is probably shaky. This is not how we normally do things. Can you see? Yeah, so the hot end goes into this aluminum body, and it does look like it's threaded. So I wonder how easy, it might not be difficult to upgrade this setup to all metal if you want to. Don't quote me on it, I don't know for certain, but I have seen times where it's just as easy as taking out the heat break that's PTFE lined, and then, you know, putting in something like a, I guess, bimetal or titanium or, you know, whatever you can find. A laser beam. I find it weird that it's pronounced focus. Yeah, it's you and me both, Lisa. I think that, yeah, I don't know, the pronunciation on it, I thought all along that it was like Fokoos. But, you know, been told, and Carl knows for sure, and he told me it's just pronounced like focus. So, yeah, I think that the naming convention on it is a bit interesting because it's called the Odin-5 F3, and I may be wrong, and it's possible that just like this is their first like kind of more mainstream printer, but I don't know, I haven't seen any previous generations, so I'm not sure where like F3 came from. Like, is there, I don't know if there's an F2 and an F1. All right, well, that was pretty painless. And even for myself, I have gotten so used to every time I get a printer, just ripping it apart instantly to get video footage and to see for myself what's going on, that we didn't do it on the Under 7, so it kind of felt right. All right, let's go ahead and let's go back to the unbox cam for a second. Focus, oh wow, Focus does have a laser coming out soon. That's cool. It must be written as pronounced from a Chinese person's perspective. Yeah. Well, I actually might play around with the laser if it does come out. Yeah, that could be interesting. I still have it installed with the Wham Bam Mutant. I wanted to create a diode laser head as well, which I've not done, so maybe we'll do that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this finished up as far as assembly goes. Is this right through? Yeah. All that's left should be, let's do the filament holder. Did I lose? Nope, it's right here. Just twist like that. And then it comes with M4, yeah. They were in a stream that I was watching and they did say it was supposed to be pronounced Focus. Gotcha. How do you feel the cooling is on it stock? Yeah, I agree that a naming, like the naming could be better. Like, you okay? The gardeners are gone, dude. You can come out. She's still under my desk. Yeah, I do agree that the naming like Odin-5 F3 is tough to remember. If it was just like Fokoos Odin, it would definitely be an easier printer to remember. But yeah, I mean, the prints I've seen come off of this guy have been pretty impressive. All right, and where does it want me to mount it? Does it matter? It looks like they mount it in the middle. Huh. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like they kind of just mount it in the middle, which makes sense, I guess. It's a direct drive, or has a direct drive. We'll go. Wait, that seems backwards. It is backwards. I don't normally, well, I guess sometimes I use the included spool holders, but I usually just use like the tush. Nope, that is too small. I usually just use the tush spool holders that you can kind of adjust that have the built-in bearings, but we'll use this for right now. Why is this not screwing in? Okay, that one went in, but one. Is it a bad nut? Or is it a bad screw? Monkey's slowly coming out. You okay, dude? No, you're okay. You're okay, they're gone, man. They won't be back for a week. Okay, it was me. The screw was not perfectly straight going into the T-nut. All right, not quite centered. Sorry for anybody that's going to bug, but that'll have to do for now. Okay, so next step is to plug in the cables. It looks like there is just two of them. Don't break, okay. Let's go with the side cam real quick. All right, so one of the cables is just tucked in right here. And so, do they loosen? Yeah, so we'll pull out, can you guys see that? This little guy pulls upwards. This goes in, let's make sure everything is aligned. It snaps up and bites down. Looks straight, I think. We'll find out soon enough. And then this one just, looks like this one just straight pushes in. Can you guys see this one? Yeah. Cool. I think that's it. Check of the screws. Everything feels pretty tight as far as like there's no slop in the bed, so I don't think I'm gonna play around with the nuts. And then, is there even eccentric nuts on these? Or no, because they're on, yeah, I think we're good to go. Oh, this, so this is the same bed as the other day, and I think the other day everyone said that I should use water and not IPA, but we used IPA and it worked fine. So we're gonna do the same thing. It's that same kind of ultra base style bed that seems to be pretty popular, which my list of favorite beds are powder coated PEI, and then this is a close, well, I don't know if it's a close second, but this is second on my list. I will say that this, usually one side, yeah, one side's smooth, which is really cool. So if you do want to just print on smooth glass, you can flip it over. And I do like that this is a really, like, since glass is probably the most diverse material that you can use as far as materials you can throw at it. Like, PEI does work for quite a bit of materials, but some of the more advanced stuff like nylons, it doesn't work as well, or polycarb. You okay, kiddo? Come on, dude. Come on. You're okay, go out. You're okay. Dude, look at this guy. Monkey. Hey. Say hi. You're okay, dude. The gardeners aren't gonna get you. I feel so bad for this guy. He's gonna be weird until his mom comes home, and then he'll be happy again. You're okay. She babies him. Well, I guess I kind of do too, but I'm more like, you'll be okay, toughen up. While she's like, come here, my baby. Oh, Carl. There's a plastic under the glass on the alloy plate too. Under the glass. Oh, so I should take this off? Ah, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Carl, and thank you, Steven and Tunky. I would have missed that. I guess probably just to prevent scratching during travel. They might want to add a little sticker or something like that. I didn't see. I didn't see any mention of it. I mean, I don't know had I ran it with it on, it probably would have been fine at like PLA temps, but yeah, I don't know that I don't think I would have caught that. All right, let's put these on, and I'm gonna grab some paper towels. Have you done any TPU printing on this, Carl? I feel like with it having such a short direct drive path, it would probably do pretty good. When loading consumables, you need to press them until they fully enter. Okay. My dog sits under my desk all the time. She runs out as soon as I Oh, that's funny. What filament do I use? I use most all filaments. I guess I, in general, try to stay away from brands I haven't heard of at all. But that just depends, because if there's a really good sale on cheap no-name filament, sometimes I'll take a chance. But the most common brands I've used as of late are eSun, Protopasta, lots of Polymaker. I really like Polymaker. They're probably my favorite manufacturer right now. God, those are the three main ones. I did buy some Duramic, which I've reviewed on, excuse me, I've reviewed on the channel before, but then I have just like a hodgepodge of different materials. But yeah, as of right now, I think, just like if we're talking PLA, Polyterra is probably my favorite. I just like it. I like that they use cardboard spools. It's not super expensive and it prints really well. And it's got kind of more of a matte look, so. Printed Solid is on my hit list as far as filaments to try. I mentioned like, I think it was last week's stream that I had a cart. Let me go back to, sorry. I had a cart of their filaments on Black Friday because I think that most of their PLAs were a couple of dollars off and they give free shipping at a certain price point. And I almost checked out, but I had just purchased a couple spools of other filament the week before, and looking over at my, let me show you guys this. Make sure there's nothing over here that's like a video that I'm like not wanting people to know about yet. So, let's see. So this is like my filament cubby thing. It's 3 high, well 6 cubbies, 3 high. And so like that's, you guys can't see, PLA, PTG, ABS is there. That is like, man, that down there on the very bottom is specialty stuff. And then on the right side is like TPU and PVA. So I just don't have room for more filaments right now. I want to burn through the stuff that I have. And it's a lot easier to run through things like PLA or PTG. The specialty stuff, I just don't have as much of a use case. I'm loving printed solid PETG. Yeah, Lisa, you were saying that. I've been seeing so much about it. And I like, the thing I do really like about printed solid is that they're a US-based company and they're manufacturing their filament in-house, which is super cool. While Polylite, although I do really like Polylite, I'm pretty sure their stuff is all from overseas, which again, isn't that big of a deal to me, but I do like that about printed solid, and their catalog has been growing a lot, so I do need to get some of their stuff in. I have boxes, but I'll send you a roll to try out. I won't say no, man, but I also know that like filament you can never have too much of, contrary to what I just said. So if you're going to be using it, then I'll order some eventually here. Move the spool holder more to one side. The spool has a width too, so the filament goes straight down. Okay, I can do that. I was going based off of their graphic or their photo on their website, but you're right. The filament is going to be coming down from a side, so we'll slide it over. We'll slide it over this side a little bit. That's probably good enough. Because the head is going to be moving around and it is direct drive, so I'm sure that's fine. But yeah, it's probably better than straight on. Okay, so, cleaning the bed. I got distracted. Filament PM. I have a spool of filament PM that I got from a trade show years ago. Printed Solid bought out. Dude, that I'm really excited about. I saw that, and hey, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. I did see that they purchased the recipes for Polyalchemy, or I think all of, I don't know if it's just the Elixir series. I'm pretty sure it's like their HD series as well. That's some solid logic. So I'm really excited. I saw that they were having a sale because I'm assuming that they were clearing out their inventory of that filament before they start producing their own. But yes, I will absolutely be getting some. I'm curious to see what their pricing is, like if they're going to be less expensive than you know what Polyalchemy was selling their rolls for. But I would love to stock up on that whole line and start doing some pretty printing here and there. I mean, I love functional printing, but anyone that 3D prints like that, anyone that 3D prints that doesn't just 3D print for business, right? Like if you're into 3D printing at all on a hobby level, you can't say you don't like printing the occasional pretty thing. I'm sorry, I think that that's false. So yeah, I would like to get some of that stuff for really cool multicolor, or just cool prints, not even multicolor. Okay, so we have got the bed cleared off. We are going to remove this little sticker. It's tucked a little bit underneath the frame. Oh, come on, come off, there we go. Oh no, there's a tiny bit of plastic in the corner that tore. I'm gonna get well, I guess my fingerprints are gonna get all over this in a second anyway. You know what, I do have tweezers from G-Funny as well as Pi. Let's see, let's bust out these tweezers. Oh, come on. This happens to me more often than I'd like to admit. There we go. Oh. Hey, tweezers. Thank you, G-Funny. I use the tools that were sent to me a lot more often than, I mean, I use them a lot, they're great. Carl says I print anything. Yeah, me too. Like, I mean, I'm a nerd. Like, there's no denying it. I like a lot of things, whether it's video game stuff or movie-related stuff or whatever. So I see cool prints and I want to print them. My biggest issue right now is I can only keep so many due to space and I don't have a good way to display them. But I would like to, like, I'm sure a lot of people in here that are on social media also follow Filament Frenzy, who just prints out the most beautiful multicolor models and single color models. But like, I would like to print some prints like that, where they are a bit more ambitious and very detailed, and then have a place where I can display them, whether it's for like, you know, a backdrop in a scene for YouTube videos, or whether I just have them somewhere where if family or a friend is visiting, you know, like I can show them, like, these are the cool things that we've been printing. So, or that I can give them to somebody. Let's see, I'm printing a Darth Vader Lego toilet paper roll holder. That's awesome. I just printed the Maker's Muse castle. Oh, I did that too. With really low quality PTG on my Montech, and it turned out amazing. Yeah, I printed that. I printed it twice actually. Do I have? I don't know where it's at right now. But I printed it out twice. I like that little castle. It's fun. Yep, only PTG and PC for me. Holy crap! What do you use the PC for? Okay, let's go ahead and power this on, yeah? Let's see, I think I've got a spare power cable. Nope, here we go. Let's go ahead and change. I'm gonna bring this camera in kind of close so we can check out the menu. I should probably clean up a little bit too while we're at it. Let me power this on and then move a couple things. We're not gonna need screwdrivers anymore, hopefully. If we need screwdrivers, then I did something wrong. Oh, cool. It's got like a kind of neat theme to it. Actually, we will need that. Oh, cool. So also, I do like this. These belts, I thought I was going to need them for the initial assembly. These are actually extra belts. And so the only other machine I've used that uses belts like this is like the Artillery Genius for the Sidewinder. And I never had really issues with the belts, but I do think that after 10 to 12 months of printing with it, one of the pins on one of the belts did start to wear a little bit. And so it's cool they do give you an extra set of these just to keep, I do like that. PC high temp, inside an AC motor. Ah, gotcha, okay. Yeah, then you definitely need that or can take advantage of that. Let's go through the menu system really quick here. Tools, preheat. Man, I will say it might take me a little bit to get used to the UI just because they look, I'm so used to like the same copy paste sort of look that it's a little bit different. So let's see, tool has Wi-Fi, which is what Carl was talking about. That's cool. Maybe that's something I will install at some point. Fan, about, just says the name of the printer and the firmware version. Continue, what is that? Maybe that is if you lose a print. Machine settings. Interesting, there's a lot of XYZ, Delta, or Core XY. Machine size, so you can adjust the, that's interesting. You can invert your stepper motors, or I don't know if that's invert stepper motors, but invert the logic, saying like it's min versus max. End stop type. You can invert the logic of the end stops. That's kind of cool. Oh, there's more too. Filament settings, load temperature, load speed, load length. I do like that. I mean, I think that, you know, for somebody that's just getting into 3D printing, it might be a little bit overwhelming, but you don't have to actually play around with any of these. Leveling settings, manual leveling coordinates, enable auto leveling. So that is really cool. for someone that wants to upgrade this, that they don't have to really go in and do anything in firmware. You can just enable auto leveling and BL Touch, and it will configure what it needs to make it work with that. It does remind me a bit of Lurge as well, where you can do everything from here. But I do like that, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's running a flavor of Marlin, which I do like over Lurge just because it's open source, and I feel like there's probably more development. Although I'm not a Lurge hater by any means. I used it on my AM8 and I thought it was pretty sweet. Yeah, UI is different but looks clean. I feel that's how I feel too. And G-code, that's sick too. You can send G-code commands to it. Not all printers have that. I mean, some definitely do, but that is really cool that if you wanted to send a G-code command or update your E-steps or something like that, you can do it directly from the machine. So that is cool. I really like that. Motor off, language options, cool, settings. Wait, was that what I was just under? Okay, I clicked the wrong thing initially. So there's preheat. We've got extrusion, which is, what is this? Extrusion 1. Move commands, home commands, leveling, which we're gonna do in a second. Filament. More, which is blank. Auto load in printing. Cool, okay. Let me really quick here go through what they say they want me to do, which I think is just the regular leveling command. Tool, home, all. Tool, home, all. Burp. Motion's definitely very quiet on it, at least for slow movements. I didn't check that. Do you know what drivers it has? Somebody in here has to, either Carl or someone. Is it TMC 2208s or 2209s? It also has, oh God, I can't think of the name of them. No, not inductive. What are the end stop types on this? They're not mechanical, they're called, are they inductive? No. Somebody in chat correct me or tell me what they are called. I do like these end stops. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with physical switches, but they're different, they're quiet. I don't know about, I would imagine they're probably more precise than mechanical, but I could be incorrect in stating that. Okay, cool. So that is there. Next, we are going to go to leveling. Let's see, let's go back down. Optical, they are optical, I believe. End stops is what they're called. Yeah, I don't think it's Hall effect. Optical sounds right. The dual Y. Yeah, that is nice too. That's right. I guess some machines do just have like a 2040 in the middle. I'm trying to see what do I have around here that maybe is like that. Yeah, like looking right now at the Anycubic Viper, it's just a single beam down the center, so that does provide definitely a bit more rigidity. I don't think it's capacitive. I'm pretty sure it's optical end stops. That sounds the most correct to me, but I wouldn't, if this was Jeopardy, I'm not 100% confident in that either. Okay, let's go ahead and do leveling. Hopefully it's too far away and not too close so I don't screw this thing up. Huh, okay. We're just gonna use, I never have actual, like, true printed paper, so we're gonna just use the manual. And then I'll adjust it if I need to on the first go. Oops, sorry y'all. Let's go over, so you guys don't just stare at my head for the next couple minutes, or the next minute. That one is a lot closer than the other one was. All right, 0.3. Do you guys think that at some point all 3D printers will just have auto bed leveling and that it'll be really good and consistent? Because auto bed leveling is nothing new in 3D printing. Like when I got my first printer, even in 2014, if I remember correctly, there were some printers at that point that had auto bed leveling, and it seems to be, you know, getting better and better and more common. But yeah, I'm curious as to whether we get to a point where all 3D printers have just auto bed leveling. I don't mind it so much, but I will say that, like, having been using the Prusa Mini now for the last month really here, that having it do, and I think that the way the Prusa Mini is set up is that it auto levels before every single print, and I think that's probably overkill. However, it does it so quickly that it doesn't really bug me, and it just feels like, you know, you remove a print, if it shifts the bed a little bit and you don't know it, then you'll know it when your print starts and one end is too far away or something like that. So the quick little leveling before each is really nice. I'm curious as to whether we get to a point where all have auto bed leveling. I made a video a long time ago talking about how I thought auto bed leveling was completely unnecessary, and that's about right. I still kind of feel that way, but I do definitely understand why people also like it a lot. What does it say on here? Double Z-axis, foldable and easy to assemble, 3.5-inch color LCD touchscreen. Cool. Well, I think we're pretty well good on. No, I didn't notice any. Is that what you're talking to me about? Maximum print speed. Is that what it says? 300. I always have told people that to take the speed on any 3D printer with a grain of salt, because unless you've got something that's really rigid, or you've got, you know, a clipper running with input shaper, like most 3D printers I've used are within ballpark of each other as far as speed goes, is what they can do. Granted, again, like certain Bowden setups that are lighter on the gantry, you can maybe push them a little bit more without seeing things like ringing or other artifacts, but the speeds are such a misleading metric, generally speaking. There is a firmware for the Fokoos, which is PLA printed at, wow. Creality seems to be putting the, yeah, I'm curious. So Creality did reach out to me asking if I wanted to test out their new Ender 3. I think I mentioned this, but it was probably like 2 months ago. But they wanted the review within like 2 weeks of me receiving it. And I just said, it's not happening. I can't do it. One, that's not enough time to do a review. And two, like, I'm not gonna put myself through that. And I've already got, like, you know, a list of videos I'm working on. Like, I'm not gonna just push it all to the side. So I said, sorry, let me know in the future. And so they did reach back out, and it does sound like I've got an Ender 3 S1 coming in the mail. It's probably gonna be a little bit, it sounds like, because they're waiting on a shipment. But I'm curious to see how well their leveling works, because I used like what I would consider Generation 2 Creality printers, or maybe Generation 3, which to me was like the CR20, the CR10S Pro, and maybe one other machine, maybe the Ender 5 Plus, and the leveling was so broken in terms of like its consistency and how it was implemented that it totally turned me off from wanting auto bed leveling, because I'd rather have manual bed leveling that I could just set and I know that it's going to work because I set it, versus trying to fight with a firmware that was not implemented correctly. That being said, using the CR6 SE, which I don't have anymore, that auto bed leveling that they implemented into that worked phenomenally to me. So I'm just hoping that they have implemented it correctly and they've gotten all of their things figured out, because it was super frustrating. Nice, Carl. Yeah, I'll be curious to hear what you think about it. Their new Hotend and Extruder look good. I think it's called like the Sprite, S-P-R-I-T-E. So let's go ahead and get Filament loaded up on this. So are we, chat, are we doing the white PLA that it came with. Is that what we're doing? I said last time that I didn't like using white PLA because I felt that it's tougher to print with, and someone said that they do it because it hides some of the imperfections. But do we want to use the white PLA? If not, I've got a lot of other options that are more exciting. Quality needs to actually fix the printers. I completely agree with that. Inappropriate. Next, this Saturday's video is on the, I am brain farting, the Hallett 1. It is a revisit, and one of the only revisits I've done on a 3D printer that I gave a negative review to. And spoiler, like, the machine is great now. Like, they fixed the firmware, they fixed the slicer, it is a great resin printer. And the video is kind of just saying, like, I don't want to give away too much because it's like, why watch the whole video? But if they just slowed down, I would rather them release I would rather them release 4 printers a year versus 4 printers every couple months, it feels like, and just get them right. The fact that it's running Marlin and that community firmware can be created or Gyros firmware can be created is great, but it shouldn't be leaned on is that like we can release a subpar product because the community is going to fix it. Like, that's not cool, you know? I mean, granted, like, even with Prusa's, people upgrade them. There's bears and stuff like that. There's the bear mod, and there's a lot of mods for it, but like, you don't have to do it. The machine's great out of the box stock. And so, yeah, I do wish and hope that they take feedback into consideration. It's an interesting video. I'm excited for it. Print something in silk PLA. Let's go through the stock experience. It's PLA plus. Use white. Okay, cool. We'll do it. So let's go ahead and side camera. How long have we been streaming for? An hour and a half, and you're not even printing it. It's because I talk so much. Let's see. Nope. Actually, let's plug in. So it does have, it's a micro SD card, which I like full-size flash drive or SD card better, but it's not like it's that uncommon of an occurrence. So let's go ahead and, what's this guy? Auto load? I have no idea what that does. Okay. I gotta learn the UI. Filament, load, preheating, cool. There's not a filament runout sensor on here, is there? It doesn't look like it. I thought I saw a mention of it, but I don't see anything. All right, let's stab this. See if you guys can hear it. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna hurt myself. That is not sharp enough. One sec. No, there wasn't much of a release. There's a Flexi Fokoos robot? That sounds fun. Oh man, I missed chat about Crowdy. Crowdy needs to break up their products into 2 different lines. 1, complete higher end machines. 2, kits. All of the older machines would fall into the kit line. Yeah, I agree. They've got such a widespread product lineup now. That it would make sense to, they need to work, like, I know we mentioned that the naming convention of this printer is a bit odd, and I tend to agree, but man, Crowdy hasn't heard him to talk because their naming convention makes and has made no sense to me forever. Like, the difference between the Ender series and the CR series, I originally thought was the Ender series was gonna be like their cheaper line of machines. And clearly that's not the case. Oh, that's way too high, I can't show you. Clearly that's not the case with, you know, like the Ender 7 now being one of their more premium machines. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Their naming is so confusing. Heat complete, load filament. I actually want the nozzle off the bed a little bit. Cancel. Let's go back, let's go move. Okay, it says heat complete, please load filament to extruder and click continue. So we will. Whoa, I see a little bit of smoke rising out of the, that doesn't look good. Can you guys see that? No, I don't think you guys can. It might just be PLA that's burning off, but there is definitely smoke rising out of this thing. You guys can't see it at all. I'm gonna hope that it's the filament. Let's confirm. I will definitely be keeping my eye on it though, because that is odd. There's actual smoke rising out of it. I'm tempted to take off the cover. I'm gonna take off the cover real quick, guys, just to confirm that it's the filament and not the breakout board that's smoking. It's very light, like it's weird to me. I mean, you know what it could be? It could be, I think I've seen this before, where the factory uses some kind of like grease or lubricant. The temp is only 200 Celsius, so like it's not very hot, but it's definitely smoking. Oh shit, the ribbon cable is not gonna let me take this off fully. But yeah, this wouldn't be the first machine. Damn it, I don't want to. I can't take the ribbon cable off. It's gonna be tough. I can't do it. Not without It could be PTFE oil. Can you see it? Can you guys see it? Oh yeah, you guys can see it. Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was showing up, but I'm like, I mean, it doesn't look like it's coming from, it's super hard to tell where it's coming from. I would think that if it was coming from the board though, that it would have quickly caused an issue and everything seems fine. So I'm thinking it's oils that are heating up. I wanted to take it off to take a look at it. Luckily, I'm right here, so if for some reason that's not the case, I will quickly be able to shut it down and make sure we're okay. It's definitely not something I see on every printer, but I have seen that before where, again, it's just the first heat up, they put some oil or something like that. There's no odor that I can smell, which also leads me to think it's not electronics that are burning, because usually when magic smoke happens, it smells kind of like shit. But yeah, it's really odd. I'm glad that you guys can see it, so that way it's not like you just taking my word for it, because they're clearly, it's just a small stream of kind of smoke coming off of it, or vapor, or whatever. But yeah, there's no, I don't really smell any odor to it, so. All right, let's give it a go. We'll keep a look on it. We'll keep an eye on it just to make sure. It seems like it's gone now. So again, and it didn't start until it heated up. I know there's still a little bit coming off. We'll see. Printing. Cool, there's a little image. Test model. Huh. Fokoos slicer, drive. G-code. Oh, cool. It's got the cat, the benchy, a fan holder. Damn, there's a lot of models on here. I like to see there's a Pikachu. Okay, so what do we want to do? There's a vase, there's owls, a pair of them, single ones. There's the cat. There's quite a lot of stuff on here. Magical. No, I honestly think it's the oils. Again, like I've seen it happen before. It's been a while, and it's also very possible that had this not been like where it's at, where there's a dark background and it's just up against my wall over here, I might not have even seen that right away. Vase takes 20 minutes. Let's start with the vase so we can complete something, and then we can start the owls, Lisa, because I am personally a fan of the owls. And I just did a benchy earlier, so we'll skip the benchy. Yeah, let's do a vase just for a quick print to make sure everything's going correctly, and then we can do owls after that. Let's go back to the unbox camera for a second here. That was interesting. But yeah, what is this? This tools. I think that we're fine, and I think that it was just oil in the PTFE or something like that. It's my first time sitting on stream. It feels so wrong, like I'm cheating you guys by not standing. I'm sorry, I just needed a second. Let's watch this thing lay down and then I'll get back to it. If you guys have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. It definitely helps the stream. Again, we hit 500 subscribers on this channel, which is super exciting. Just sit down, mate. Yeah, we're chilling for a minute. So yeah, next week's stream will be building this Prusa Mini. Then I need to talk to Fabrico about when we're gonna do the 5sec clone, which is a Prusa Mini clone build. That'll be happening, and then the MK3S Plus build is going to be happening. That just shipped today, so it'll probably be here the next week or two. Those will all be kind of like project-y streams, and now we all have to stand up. A base mode of owls. Yes, I need you guys all to stand up. Yeah, DC, 500 more than Super Chat. And it's really cool because on the back, so the requirements for YouTube have changed. Like when I first started doing YouTube videos 10 years ago, there wasn't requirements. Like anybody, I think, was eligible for AdSense and stuff. But yeah, now it's 1,000 subscribers and a certain amount of hours of watch time. And there's these little kind of like odometers. I don't know, odometer would be correct, but meters that show, and like the subscriber count and the views that are required are like right on par with each other. So it looks like once we hit 1,000 subscribers that we might have enough watch hours, I believe is the metric, to actually get members on this channel, which is cool. But what I was getting at was that I'm going to be doing a video. We did a video on installing Octoprint on the Pi 2 Zero. So I'm going to be doing a video of taking that and then clipperizing it, or making it where you can run OctoClipper. And the printer I think I'm going to do it on is the FL Sun SR, which is the Delta printer. And Teaching Tech thankfully already did the hard work as far as creating the printer config file. And so once I do the video on that, I think we'll do a chill stream where we just like print crazy fast on that Delta printer once I've got it all dialed in with Clipper, because it's got linear rails. It's a Bowden, it uses a Bowden setup with like a Titan clone. So I think that'll be a fun stream where we'll just like, how fast can we push this until it starts skipping steps and doing crazy things? So that'll be a really fun stream we'll do. Bed is at 60 Celsius. We are getting there. Let's see, side cam? Nope, that's a top cam. I can't read. There we go. With the sheer amount of Voron 0.1s out there, a tutorial about changing the belts, fans, etc. could be an idea. Yeah, maintenance on it might not be a bad idea. It's definitely not a fun experience changing the belt on that thing, because I had to do it. You basically have to remove the mini afterburner, Yeah, well, you have to remove the mini afterburner, which means you have to clip the zip ties that are holding the wires. It's quite a process. And I actually did change the belt or a fan on mine as well. I was doing something to it, and my Allen key went through the Hotend fan, which sucked. So yeah, I've had to do these things. It's definitely not super fun to take apart the Voron Zero. All right, we got fans kicking on. Hotend is at 180. I do think that, well, maybe not, but I do think that the heat up time isn't crazy quick, and that's probably attributed to the power supply. I mean, it is a 24 volt system, but what did we say? It's 250 watt, which is kind of low. So if you have the mod for the pancake PCB, I don't know if I've seen the pancake PCB. I did see your build, Zarin. It's looking awesome, man. I love the bed mod and the colors. It's looking really clean. Oh, let's see. Yeah, your build's looking great, dude. Curious if my leveling is good enough. It looks like it. Oh, that is not centered. I've had that issue quite a bit lately where, interesting. I mean, it's fine, but I've had that issue lately where it seems like manufacturers are slicing files not for the right printer. Creality's done it quite a few times where like, I've gotten, you know, like a 1 foot by 1 foot, one of their printers, like a CR10 style, and the model must have been sliced for like an Ender 3 because it's not printing in the center. It's a little unfortunate because like, you know, like it's I mean, maybe a small detail, but it's just, you know, it should be printing in the center, and it's clearly off by, I don't know, an inch. Let's see if I can get you guys kind of a better angle. Ah. Oh, it's IPA bottle. Ah, sorry guys. It's definitely pretty quiet. I am a fan of that. I mean, the loudest thing is clearly the fan, which, is it on? No, that's the Hotend fan. It does look like the blower fan is on, probably 100%. I mean, it's a lot quieter than the machines I've been playing around with lately. The one thing I was pretty surprised with, actually, was that the Prusa, let me see, do I have the ability to turn on a second camera here? I don't know. The Prusa Mini is actually pretty damn loud, and from what I'm seeing, it looks like the Mark III is kind of loud as well. Like there's a stealth mode where I think it's running, you know, stealth chop, but if you want to go crank up speeds, it's pretty loud. So I think that my noise tolerance, like I'm fine with loud printers, but I think that because I've used so many, like I've seen how quiet a printer can get, so my noise tolerance is not very high. And so, yeah, the Mini is definitely a loud printer. This is a lot quieter than the Prusa Mini is. R Mills, the Hotend is like I mean, the heater block is basically a Volcano. It has a Volcano sized nozzle. The heatsink might be custom. It reminds me of, no, it doesn't even remind me of an Aero actually, because an Aero I think is, well, there's some aluminum, but there's more plastic and it has a bigger gear on it. I don't know what the gear ratio is on this extruder, if it's just a standard like 1-to-1 or if there's a gear reduction. There's no big gear sticking out, so I would imagine it's just standard size gears, but I would be curious to see what the extruder looks like on the inside. Oh, it's laying down nice and clean. I've seen some great prints come off of this. There's There's a couple people I mentioned that I follow on Twitter. I'm terrible with names, so I can't remember, but he's printed out some awesome stuff on this over the course of the last 30 days. Yeah, I agree. The stock bearings are loud. And I think it is because the LM8 UU uses those balls, like there's little balls inside of it, and those on those smooth rods just make a lot more noise than V-slot wheels do on, you know, on the extrusion. V-slot wheels are pretty damn quiet, so it's definitely a plus. But I don't know, like for me, I don't really mind the sound of printers at all. I mean, I can't, how can I? The biggest issue for me is that, like, I try to not have the sound of 3D printers in the background when I'm recording videos, and it's incredibly difficult to do. It's really tough to time prints around when I can use a microphone, since the prints are either happening, you know, a couple feet away, or at the most, I don't know, what is that, 12 to 15 feet away from me. So, but yeah, the actual like noise, if it was not that situation, isn't that big of a deal. But the Ender 7, man, is freaking loud. When that thing was printing I can't think of the model's name right now, it was really loud. Yeah, I'm thinking of changing them to Misumi. You mean just sticking with LM8 UU but going with Misumi? I know that they also have, oh God, there's bushings that like Lulzbot uses on some of their printers that are bushings instead of the LM8 UU bearings. And I think they're made out of, oh God, what's the company called? 1 second here, let's see if I can find them. 3D printer bushings. They are, what's the company? Best filament for bushings. Somebody in chat's probably gonna get it before I get it. Armadillo, that is not it. Color Fab. Interesting that I'm not seeing it. I'm pretty sure Lulzbot uses the company I'm thinking of. Self-lubricating bearings, run, whisper, quiet. I don't see them. I'll have, I guess. Oh, did somebody in chat get it before me? Damn it, yeah, Zara already got them before me. Yeah, I guess, thank you guys. That is exactly what I was trying to think of. They're supposed to be cool, but I don't know. Oh, Daniel, no, the elevator now. It's just that the one that Prusa uses are loud. Gotcha, okay. R Mills says, just really chat, nice background music. Well, regardless, I know everybody is not as big of a chatty Cathy, so I appreciate you hanging out, even if it is just, you know, background music. I do the same thing actually with streams. I'm often trying to tune into Nero's streams, but I don't often chat. I'm usually having it on as I'm working on other stuff, because it's just like, it's nice, like I enjoy it, but I just can't always be sitting there chatting. Noisy printers. On noisy printers, the slower you print, the louder they are, so print fast. Interesting. Maybe that, I mean, again, like, it doesn't seem to be affecting quality because the Prusa Mini is printing beautifully, so it's not that big of a deal. But for someone that is just having like a Prusa Mini in their study or something like that, and it's just bugging them, then yeah, if there's a way to just upgrade them and, you know, have it be quieter by going with Misumi or something like that, then that's great. As far as the IGUS bushings go, oh, okay, that's what I was gonna say. Zerant just said they got binding issues. I was gonna say, like, there has to be a reason why that's not the standard, and it can't just be cost. I know that Lulzbot at least uses them. I don't know if on their latest versions that they're using them, like on the Taz Pro or the Taz Workhorse. I don't know if they switched over, but I know that on the Taz 6, and I believe at least the original Mini, they were using them, and there had to be a reason why that's not the standard other than just cost. So I guess if that's it, maybe they do have binding issues. And also the Wolfsbot printers are some of the loudest printers I've ever seen. When I was working at Matter Hackers, there was a Taz 6 near the area I worked, and God, the motion on it was just so damn loud. Yeah, this is printing brutally slow. This is, you guys, yeah, we're 8% in at 15 minutes. This is brutally slow and completely unnecessary. Let me see if there's a way to crank up the speed. Speed, yep. All right, that's 200%. It's 300%. It's 400%. I want to give it a fair chance of printing nicely, but this is much more realistic of what I would expect it to be able to print at. Thank you for calling that out. I got distracted by talking and didn't notice that you're right. Like that was insane. It's going much quicker now. It's at 400% of what it sliced at. Let's see, check out live stream chat room. Oh wow, I had them on my AM8 and the tolerances have to be on point, otherwise they give you a lot of noise in the print because they don't slide freely and you get a stuttering effect in the prints. Even tried to use them with cable ties to give them a bit more slack. Gotcha. Huh, good to know. So I will not be using those. I would imagine that they work fine for things like I would imagine if you use them on something like a camera time lapse, it'd probably look fine, you know, but on something like a 3D printer where any slight, even minuscule ripple, you see it in the layers, you know, that's more of a problem. Bump up temp a little. What do they have temp at? Temp 210? We can do, well, it went to 220. Which is honestly, that's what I would normally print at anyway. We'll go down to, we'll do 215. Because it does have the Volcano style block. Yeah, it looks great. Like even at, you know, bumping it up 400%. It's interesting that they sliced it so damn slow. Hey, Pi's here. You know what? While this is printing, I'm gonna slide this table really quick. I'm gonna get a granola bar. I'm getting hungry and I feel the coffee sitting in my empty stomach. Ooh. All right. There we go. I was guessing, I guess bushings are designed for aluminum linear rods, not the more common chromed rods. They also need accurate fitments because they're easily deformed. Gotcha. Man. It's like a dark chocolate peanut butter granola bar. I switched so much on my AM8, and if you consider all the fails and upgrades I put into it, it's way over 1K by now. But learning is not free. I will say that there's a lot of projects that I've done over the years that have cost me a lot of money, and part of it is breaking things, not knowing exactly what I'm doing, or just doing something because I think it's cool, not because it necessarily has a function, like you know, it doesn't better something. And in some of those moments, it's incredibly frustrating when you break something because obviously, like, you work for your money, and so the goal isn't to burn it by breaking stuff. But I do think that's super valid, that there's no projects I've done that I could say that I haven't gained something from. Like you said, knowledge isn't free. Well, maybe some knowledge is, but you know, some of the biggest lessons I've learned has been through doing stuff like that, just random projects where I've broken things and had to learn. And I'm not saying there's not better ways to learn, or you shouldn't do some preemptive homework before you start, you know, taking a soldering iron to things, but that's how this, or you know, the other channel, Modbot channel, started out. Was I was buying a bunch of broken video game consoles and trying to learn how to fix them using, you know, having no knowledge in electronics and going based off of YouTube and forums. And so I had like a basis, but it wasn't very good. And there's also an element of, there's certain things that you can, you know, watch a tutorial and sure you can follow along. But for things like skills, whether it's, you know, learning how to solder, I don't care if you watch 100 videos on YouTube or, you know, go through all different guides, until you've actually done it enough to where you have been able to apply what you've learned via YouTube, like, it's just not the same thing. Man, inappropriate. My personality is so spazzy that when I wake up in the mornings, I'm usually like already feeling crazy. And when I try to go to bed, it's very tough to go to bed, that I cannot pair coffee with more coffee. I will probably have a heart attack or explode. Like, I have 1 cup on stream days because I just want to get that little extra zing. And occasionally if I don't sleep and I've got work to do, I will, but my personality in coffee is like, I like the Tasmanian devil or something like that. I just can't do it. We're at 33%. I'm gonna finish this granola bar, and then we might bump it up a little bit more. Let's go to the unbox cam. Sorry if the eating is loud. I never know whether it's too loud. I appreciate it, Zarant. I mean, a lot of people in the Modbot Army Discord are super nice and helpful, and it's great. I love it. Like, that was kind of, I mean, that was really the main point of it, was to have a place where people could help each other. And I know that when I was trying to learn certain things, like back with the video game modding stuff, there was a lot of people that weren't really helpful and they were kind of mean. And the people that knew stuff were almost like gatekeeping, and they would get upset at you for not knowing these things, but they, like, the tools weren't available to learn those things. Like, I do think that people need to do a bit of research on their own. Like, you can't spoon feed everybody everything. And plus, like, it's just not cool. People shouldn't expect that. But, you know, there's a way to say things, and you never know if the person you're helping out is going to go on and, like, change the way we do things, like develop something awesome, you know? So I appreciate it. I feel like everybody in the Modbot Army Discord has been really respectful of each other, which is great, because sorry, this is delicious. When I said it, I had a really strict no BS policy, and I mean it. Thank you for the YouTube engagement. I have no idea how YouTube does live stream engagement, if it matters to them or not, but I appreciate it. And yeah, I agree. That's a really good point, is that some people forget that one day they were learning too. Everyone has to start from square one, you know? So it's not really cool that all of a sudden, because they've got all this experience and knowledge, that like they're not willing to help, you know, help somebody else that, you know, is the same as they were at one point. So yeah, I mean, I will say again, I have my frustrations sometimes when someone reaches out to me and it's something that I've just covered, or like I've made a video on it and I send them a video, or if they go to a certain video and ask a question that I know is answered in that video, and I'm like, come on, you didn't even watch the video. Like, I spent 20 hours this week shooting, editing, and making this video. I didn't even watch it. So there's things like that where like I can get a little frustrated for sure, because I think, again, like you should have to do a little bit of work, you know, but Yes, I completely agree that, you know, again, there's a fine line, but I always try to be at least as positive and optimistic as I can towards people and at least point them in the right direction. Do you have a CR10 Smart, Carl? How do you like it? I mean, I know that I think Angus and one other person like gave it a pretty rough review. And it seemed like, from what I saw, it was one of those things with Creality where they just kind of pushed the machine out a little bit too quick and didn't finish everything. But I don't know if it's changed since then. Like, again, this week's video is on the Hallett 1 from Creality, and my review on it was rough. Like, it was bad. I said I don't recommend it. It's not complete. It's not a complete machine. And this week's video is like, man, this is a very impressive machine that has features I've never seen before now. Like, and I do highly recommend it now, but it's just unfortunate that they sell products before they're complete. It's not cool. How is this looking? It looks like it's looking okay. There's no more smoke coming out of it, which is a positive. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. There's a tiny little brown spot on the bottom, which is probably from filament that was already in it that kind of finally burnt out. We're at 53%. I'm gonna bump it, let me see. I'm gonna bump it a hair more in speed and also temp, just so that we can, let's see, speed, we're at 400%, going to 500%. And then we are going to go temp. We're gonna go to 220, which is what I typically print PLA at anyway. It looks like there was a tiny blob from when I just bumped up the speed of hair, but it's fine. I have full faith that this printer can, oh, you guys can't even, I always forget what camera I'm on. Let's see, side cam, there you guys go. It's had rough reviews, and I can see why it does, but mine has been a workhorse, and it doesn't let me down. The biggest moan I have is the Z-axis is adjustable only at point, oh wow. So really, oh, okay, so not as small increments as you would like. The adjustments are larger values, and you're like, it shouldn't be called smart, as it's far from being smart, yeah. Have they done any more development on it? Like, have they been improving on the firmware and stuff? Based off what I've seen from this printer over the last month online and my initial experience with it so far, which I know I've only had it printing for half an hour, I feel like that this printer seems like it's going to be a pretty solid machine. And you know, it's too early for me to say long-term how it will hold up, but like, there's a lot of things on it that I just like they're not trying to reinvent the wheel, really. I mean, their folding thing, you know, it's not, you know, it's not a huge thing different than what a lot of other companies are doing, but like aluminum extrusions, cool, we've seen that, but it's, you know, it works. Dual Z-axis lead screws, which I wouldn't say is fully necessary on a machine of this size, but hey, you know, I also don't mind it. The hot end, the Volcano style hot end is, you know, we've seen that before too, and it works well. The extruder is something, I think the extruder is the main thing on here that I'm like, I haven't seen this exact extruder before. I thought originally it was a clone of a Titan Aero, but it's not. So that's like kind of the biggest thing, but I just have a feeling that if I were to throw this printer on a shelf and just throw prints at it, that it's going to function well. But this is not, that is not me That is not me giving my review thoughts on this thing. Actually, when they had reached out, I sort of said that I probably can't do a full review on it just because I've got a huge queue of videos and reviews I'm working on, but I will be running this kind of in the background, just maybe for projects and other stuff, so I'm happy to give updates on it. But I don't know, a lot of times lately, I feel that when I test out a machine, I can kind of tell early on whether it's gonna be a problem machine or whether it's not. And usually, as of late, the problem machines, I can kind of see the issues during initial setup, or it's like a company that maybe is trying something new that makes no sense. Firmware's firmware's dropping tonight on the Fokoos on the Odin, or are you talking about the Smart still? Does anybody in chat, I know that quite a few people in chat have either a Prusa Mini or like the FiSec clone, but does anybody in chat have a Prusa Mini that got it as a semi-assembled? I'm just curious as to what your opinions are as far as build time for it. That's what we're gonna be doing next week, and I just don't know, like, is it quick? Like, you know, kind of a standard hour type thing, or is it typically a couple of hours? I might need to look at the video. Thank you, Lisa. Yes, if you have not liked the video or the stream, please like the stream. It helps the algorithm gods of YouTube. I actually mentioned to you earlier before you shut up, Lisa. I said, because Lisa's not here, I have to remember to remind you guys to like the chat. Like the like the stream. Yeah, the only imperfections I'm seeing on here are 2 tiny dots, and they are right around the point where I bumped the speed up from 400 to 500%. Everything else on it's looking solid. This is like the world's smallest vase. Mine came mostly assembled. You got yours though. Oh, you do have a. I thought you only had the FiSec version, Zarent. Okay, cool. So it is pretty quick then. And DC, you got yours though. Like you got yours used, right? I thought it was off of a community member that had already like assembled it at one point. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember. Yeah, just based off of because the experience I had tearing down the Mini and rebuilding it was a lot more involved than I think that I was mentally prepared for this past week. And so I'm just trying to figure out, you know, how involved it's going to be. Oh. Damn it. DC's gonna kill me. Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought that yours was already assembled when you got it completely. I will say that on the Mini so far, I have to tally it up. I don't think, like, maybe I'm mistaken in the firmware, whether it tells you how many print hours it has. I think that the MK3 does, but I would say I've probably done 150 hours on it so far, and it's been rock solid. I had one issue with clicking of the extruder. It was when I was doing PTG. I have no idea what caused it, and it was probably 20 minutes into a print. I basically unloaded the filament, reloaded it, started the print again, and it's been fine since. So it's been great so far. Double shot glass. Is that what it says? Face? No, yeah, no kidding, man. I wonder, cause like, I know everything, gosh, excuse me. I know that with 3D printing in general, they don't recommend it for anything that's like gonna be around food, because even if the filament is, in quotation mark, food safe, by the time it's been extruded, it's going through a brass nozzle, and I believe brass nozzles contain a bit of lead. Also, the layer lines, even if they're microscopic, are still prone to holding bacteria. And so, like, I know people use them for things like cookie cutters, and they're typically fine because you're dealing with raw dough and it's going to be baked. But I wonder if you could just print out shot glasses. That could be kind of cool. You know, like, I mean, typically at a party, I guess, or something like that, like got the red solo cup ones that are kind of throwaway, but you can make some pretty cool ones. And I've seen, you know, I haven't really tried to do a lot of watertight prints, but I know I have seen people do vase mode watertight prints, so that could be kind of cool for a themed party. Little like tiki guys or something like that. Yeah, food safe coatings, yeah, there's definitely stuff you can do for sure. Like I think there's food safe epoxies that you can do that will completely coat and, you know, kind of remove the layer lines because you're coating them, but at least stock off the printer. Like even if you get a stainless steel nozzle, it doesn't really matter because of those layer lines. I'm not saying that like you'd get sick, but it definitely wouldn't pass like, I don't think like, you know, whatever health inspection is. No, I got the original mini. Oh, gotcha, okay. I have TPU shot glass molds. I'm interested in wait, are you casting them in TPU or you printed them in TPU? What are you casting them in? That is something that we're gonna get into at some point on the channel, is mold making and casting. I have this list that I will probably extend the rest of my life of videos and just things I want to expand into, but I can only do so much at a time. Okay, this little guy is done. There's no way you guys are gonna be able to see. Oh man. Ah. I don't want to scratch it. It's stuck. We have to wait for it to cool down. I'm scared I'm gonna break it. I like don't want to wait for it to cool down because I also want to just get the next print started though. Yeah, it's really, man. Don't slice my finger. That is really good adhesion, holy crap. Food safe coatings, FTP shot. Oh, for ice. That is awesome. Hey, what's up? Basta, seeing scratch mark. Yeah, I don't think they're, I mean, oh man, maybe I am actually scratching it. I feel like I can probably buff them out. Man, this thing is sharpened. I didn't put that much pressure on it. I will say that I often do scratch this material fairly often, but yeah, it's really, really stuck. It's, you know what? I got an idea. Let's use an actual spatula because I think that one might be a little too bendy. Oh no, I broke it. Son of a gun. There's a little split. Okay, I'm just gonna go 1, 2. There we go. I should have just done that from the beginning. That sucks. I did screw up a little part of it. This is way smaller than I anticipated. I mean, you guys can't really, I don't know how much detail this little crappy camera's gonna pick up, but it looks good. Like, the only imperfections, there's a tiny dot that might not be able to see right there. Actually, let's try the face cam. The face cam is a much better camera, and this might work. Let's see. Hey, everybody. It sucks that I split it, but it's not the end of the world either way. Wow, that is really, really blown out. It's so blown out. Hold on, let me see if I lower the brightness. Nope, that's not the brightness, that's the white balance. All right, we are doing it. We are doing it. All right, let's see if that's a little better. It doesn't have autofocus, I'd like tap it, but it looks good. I would say again, the only thing is there's a dot, and the dot is my fault. I'm sure it was right at the line where I bumped it from 400 to 500%. So there's a slight issue or deviation. And then where it's split down here, that was my doing right now. And that's also right around where I cranked it up from 100% to 400%. So I cannot hold that against the printer itself. I am partially tempted to print another test file, but I also kind of want to slice up our own I kind of want to slice up our own thing. Print a mold in food safe ABS and smooth it, no layer lines. Yeah, I guess you could do that. I didn't even know there was a food safe ABS actually. Yeah, usually I smack them off too. We can do the owl. I just have a feeling that the owl is also gonna be at brutally slow speeds. It's all right, let's do the owl. Let's do the owl, that was quick. Wait, Zaran says go for a Voron cube. Lisa says, okay, sounds good. Maybe we will. Yeah, let's see, okay. Let's go ahead and pop out, 1 second. Let me reconfigure some stuff over here. All right, I'm moving stream over here. Putting you right there. All right, let's go to desktop view. All right, let me grab the little adapter. Plug you in. All right, ooh, I like that. It's got a bright light on their little USB adapter so you can make sure you're actually plugged in. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what's on the memory card. We've got, you guys can see this, right? Yeah. User manual, cool. Software and drivers. Huh, interesting. Fokoos slicer, folder is empty. Okay. 3D model, okay, those are all the STLs. Machine accessories. Oh, that's kind of cool that there's, let's see. Oh, it's opening in Crowdy Slicer. Isn't there a built-in, save, exit? Isn't there a built-in, like 3D viewer? Yeah, there we go. So that's kind of cool that I do like when companies do that, although the one that it comes with is injection molded, so like you'd really have to do something silly to jack it up, but that's still cool. Nice, I like that too. That's sick. So like if you don't like the bright yellow, you can totally customize both the fan and the whole cover for the entire thing. It'd be cool to put your own logo there too. Well, I guess, yeah, it's the fan. Yeah, you can totally imprint something there as well. And then let's see what else. It is a little interesting though that it doesn't have slicer stuff. Like it's blank. Wonder if that was an accident. What is this guy? I don't actually know what protective cover means. Maybe it's, I don't know. Oh, you know what? I think I do see it. I think that's behind one of the Z steppers. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we go to here. Customer reviews, they have their downloads. Oh, they have Filament too. Does it run Marlin? Runs Marlin at the same time. We've also set up many external ports that users will redevelop and design the printer. Multiple 16-year-old is firmware open source. Does it come with everything you need to start right away? That's a cute cat. All right, let me see. Fokoos Odin profile. Cura profile. These Cura settings have resulted in the best settings so far. This profile is intended for PLA. Adjust temperature and any other settings to suit your particular filament. Oh. Oh. I mean, I get it. Yeah, the only difference I would say is going to be, you know what, that's fine. You're right. The main difference is really going to be like slicer and, the retraction distance and the retraction speed. But since we have Carl here, and I think there's at least one of the two people here that have, Lisa wants us to use pretty filament. I agree, we don't need to use white again. It's just, it's such a, I like it for functional printing things in white because like it just looks clean and it kind of blends in depending on what you've got. Like white or black or gray are kind of my most common, but it's not very fun to look at. Let's go ahead and do settings. What the hell tool? Preheat. Okay. All right, we got things preheating. Okay, so let's go ahead and just do, I guess let's just do like an Ender 3. We'll start with that. So, wait, artillery's in here. I feel like it's actually closest to a Sidewinder or a Genius. Let's do that. Let's do that. I like that better. We'll just F-O-K-O-O. Did I spell that right? Focus, yeah. And then we'll just do, oops, no I did not. Odin. Should have the correct, oh, that's not right actually. It's 235, 1 second. I think it's 235 by 235 by 250. Directions, equipment, parameters, page 3. Huh, it says the bed could hit 120. That's pretty hot. Why don't I see machine size, machine weight? 235 by 2, yeah, I was right, 235 by 2, okay. So it's slightly bigger than this. 235, nope. It is really tough to type on this. 235 by 235 by 250, that looks fine, that's fine. Heated build volume, no. Heated bed, yes. Marlin, yes, we'll leave that. Number of extruders, fine, we'll leave all that. I've been printing my printer mods in Orange ABS, so I have a Prusa Ender 5 Plus. Hey, Justin 3D, what's going on? Yeah, so it's Ender 3 size exactly, is there not? I mean, I could have used the Ender 3 profile. The only reason I didn't was because this probably has the retraction closer to correct. Because the Genius has a Volcano Hotend with a arrow, so it's super similar to this guy. Okay, so 3, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. We'll do 220 is my kind of my go-to. We can leave stock speeds, it's fine for now. Cooling, 100%, skirt, cool, support. Okay, what do we want to print? Let's go to things. I haven't printed any of the, is Erin calling me? She is. Hi. How's it going? Really? Jeez. Yep. Jeez. Sorry. You what? Okay, sounds good. I'm still streaming, babe. Yeah, I'm live right now. Yeah, it's okay. I wanted to make sure you're okay. That's why I answered. Okay, I love you too. All right, bye. Huh. California mandated mask requirements again today. So at her work, she had to tell people that they had to wear masks, and she had to wear masks, and I guess the people were not very happy. Okay, so I did read chat, and you said don't go above 1 millimeter. You say Voron Cube. I kind of want to do something a little bit more fun. Pretty much everything on here is Dwayne The Rock Johnson right now. Or Christmas stuff, which I like. I've been wanting to print one of these, the gift box number 5. That could be cool. It's definitely a challenging print from what I've seen. I guess, you know what? I'm cool doing a Voron Cube for one reason, Zerat. And that's that it's not a very long print, so we can get the results quicker. New York started on Monday. I feel bad for her. Yeah, the gift box is cool. I want to print the gift box. It's going to take a long time. Yeah, it sucks, Lisa. Because we're both, me and her have been fully vaxxed for a long time, so it's unfortunate. I feel bad for her. I mean, again, I work here. I work from home, so for me, it's not a big deal. But her, she works in the service sector, and so, you know, she has to wear one all day long. Scale down the gift box? I feel like that's going to be insanely difficult to do because of the gears on it, right? Doesn't it have, I've been seeing everyone printing it. Oh, wait, this one's not. This one seems way simpler. Maybe is it? This is the 4th gift box in the series I'm designing for Christmas. All the boxes are similar in size and shape, but each one opens differently. If you print one, I'd love to see it. Be sure to post it. This is what, number 5? Yeah. To remove the top on this, simply press on one set of ribbons just below the top. These ribbons are actually complaint catches? Angus Castle would be pretty cool too. Let's do Angus's castle. Let me, oh man. I wish, for the sake of streams, I wish prints were quicker, so that way we could see beginning to end. I mean, I have been posting the finished result, I guess, in chat. Let's see, castle. Thank you for purchasing the castle view product. Okay. Wait, get access. Oh, I have to log in. Oh, I didn't know I made an account on Angus's website, but maybe I did. Yeah, I guess I did. Clearance castle, test print. All right. Wait. Oh man, that's not the whole thing. All right. Oh, drawbridge, clearance tower, quick print, clearance castle. Is this the right one? Yes. Perfect. Yeah, let's do this in a nice color. Let's see, how long is it gonna take? I feel like it's gonna take an hour and 20 minutes. Holy shit. Whoa, it is a lot longer print. What the heck? I must have, man, I don't remember it taking that long. 0.2 layer height, that's crazy. Well, this is also gonna be a long print. It's all right, we'll get it started and then I'll post it, later on. That is a lot longer than I had anticipated. Yeah, the torture toaster is rough, Lisa. It's not It's not, yeah, no part, wait, I don't have part cooling on? Oh, no idea, part cooling, 100%. Yeah, it's in the US there, aren't they? Oh, actually, I don't know if it's, I don't think it's, no, it's not nationwide. It's state, state mandates. And so California, California has now made it a requirement, yeah, that you have to wear a mask. I don't know the exact details, but basically if you work with people at all, you have to wear a mask regardless of vaccination status. In California, that law went into effect today, and it's in effect till at least the end of January. So, but yeah, it's on a state by state basis. So I guess Lisa said New York implemented it as well. Oh, no, no. We just failed so hard. Oh man. You guys missed it. The micro SD card is nearly in the inside of the machine. Oh, that sucks. There's just enough gap. Okay, let me see if I use the tweezers those tweezers, if I can grab it. I can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it. Of course that would happen, but it's been a little bit since I've done that. Yeah, large gatherings, that stuff has definitely been like that. But most restaurants or like walk-in places have been, if you're vaxxed, you don't have to. Okay. Oh. Shit, I don't know if we're gonna really get this out without. It's, oh. Yes! 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 Oh, we did it! Oh my god. That felt like playing the operation game. Okay, let's slowly put the micro SD card in. That is one of the reasons I don't like micro SD cards. Oh god, I'm so happy that I had those tweezers. All right. Let's go ahead and go back to unbox cam. Hello everybody. Let's do back. Let's go filament, unload, confirm. Cool. All right, white filament. Yeah, I mean, granted that was a very simple vase print, but the white filament did a pretty good job. Let's do, I like this green, man. I haven't used this green. I don't remember when I used it, if I used it in a video or what, but this Proto Pasta green is awesome. Look at this stuff. It's, is it Lucky Irish or something like that? What is the color called? Oh, nope. Cloverleaf Metallic Green is what it's called. This will be a cool color for the castle. Busting out the good stuff. It's funny because I say that I also need to use up my filaments before I get more, yet I like, what am I doing wrong? Confirm? Load? Confirm? I hoard some of these nice filaments. I don't want to use them. You know, oh, if I use it, it's gonna run out. But then part of me says, like, why don't I use the filament I have? It's so, I don't know. It's a kind of a funny thing. I didn't go in the whole way, but that's okay. Let's try again. Load, confirm. Interesting. I mean, it loaded a little bit, but like it loads the full thing right at the beginning, and then do it one more time. Yeah, it's a super cool green. Protopasta is so expensive. Yeah, it's sorry, I missed a lot of that conversation. Love those micro SD cards. Without checking E-steps or flow, good luck with that print. It is tight tolerances. Yeah, we'll see what it does. I printed it out a couple times so far, and it's done. Granted, it was on the Prusa Mini. It was on the Prusa Mini, but I have printed it out a few times, and it's done. It's been pretty good on both times as far as all of the elements of it working. Let's crank this up a little bit. Okay, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and get the print started. Oh, I was talking about the clearance castle. I was talking about the torture toaster, and the most difficult aspect of it that I've had is two parts. One, the actual mechanism that makes the toast go up. Granted, I printed it on the Surmoon, and the Surmoon was giving me all sorts of inconsistencies with the first layer, first leveling. Oh, let's go. But the bottom part of the toaster kept kind of welding on one side, and so that made it where the toast, one of the toasts didn't go up. I think I showed it off in that video. And the other issue I had is with the actual tolerances on the side. There's like little tolerance switches that you can make go up and down, and I was not able to get very far on those, also on the Surmoon. Let's see if it's correct, or like in the middle now. A little blob. It almost looks like the nozzle needs to go a hair closer, but I don't want to do that because of how stuck the vase was. Yeah, it looks pretty good actually. Yeah, my thought on Protopasta is yes, their stuff is not very cheap. Granted, like, all their stuff, they like don't really make regular PLA. It's all HT PLA, which kind of usually comes with a bit of a premium. So like if you want to anneal it, granted you can anneal regular PLA, but I think they do something slightly different to their formula. But I think that also the reason why their stuff is more expensive is because they do, it seems like smaller batches and more like creative limited runs, which I would imagine makes it more difficult because they are getting all sorts of different colors and pigments and things like that. Plus where they live, they're based out of Washington, if I'm not mistaken. I know they're close to Joel, or like Joel's visited them. So I think they're close to him up in Washington, and Washington is a very expensive state to live in. So I'm not saying again that it's not, you know, a pricey material, because I do agree, like there's a lot cheaper filament, but I think that that's part of the reason. And like, what are their, let me see here, what is their stuff go for right now on average? Proto. They definitely make some of the prettiest colors I've ever seen. They did a limited run a while back with I think Chaos Cortac, as well as Amy. I think Amy Double D is her like handle, and there was like Blood of My Enemies was one that was really cool. Like, let me see here. Let's go desktop. Oops. New and limited. That is really expensive. That is the highest I've seen. So the recycled PLA, unless it's, what is the spool size? Yeah, $50 for 1 kilogram of PLA is insanely expensive. That I will agree with. That is way more than what I'm used to seeing their stuff at. Metal filled, matte fiber. Let's see if we just go by like their standard HT PLA, which is like what almost all their stuff is. This must be what sample sizes. So let's go 175. And then they've got, man, that is, yeah, you're not wrong. They're more expensive than I thought that they were. I thought that they $30 for 750 gram rolls. Yeah, I didn't realize that they were 500 grams. No, you're right. It's expensive filament. God, it looks so good though. I mean, man, like look at that. But yeah, that's premium stuff. Ooh, you're gonna do the enraged rabbit carrot feeder? I still really want to do that in the future. Hopefully. Let's see, to be honest, if you buy cheap filament and then good one like KVP or Protopasto, you get the problems out of your printer that you were trying to fix for ages. Yeah, I do agree that there's a difference in consistency with more expensive filament, but I do feel like that you can get really good quality with low cost filament. Like when I was running my small little print farm or print garden, if you will, I was using cheap filament. Like it was no more than $14 to $15 a roll roughly from China, and the prints look great. Like, so I mean, you definitely can get like, I'm pretty sure Zara that you're not a fan of eSun if I remember correctly, but like I've used a lot of eSun and they've been really, for the most part, pretty damn consistent. And like Polylite, I really like Polylite's filament, and Polylite is pretty inexpensive compared to a lot of other manufacturers. So are you talking about Protopasto, Lisa? They also started in debt and have a lot of machines doing small runs instead of large runs. I pay $7 per kilogram. Holy crap. Oh, G3T, yeah. I think that in the Discord, I've seen some people talking about GST 3D, and like the quality, I think the quality, is there a video? Is it like, did Joel do a video on them, Lisa, that you're referencing? Printsolid does large runs, and that's why he keeps the price down. Gotcha. I mean, that makes an absolute ton of sense. That's crazy cheap, man. Yeah, so I've seen mixed things about this material, but there's a guy I've seen online that bought a bunch of this stuff, and the quality was pretty impressive. It's just crazy. I mean, I feel like I would be willing to roll the dice on this just because of how inexpensive it is. But I don't think that I would be, like, I wouldn't, oops, camera. I don't think I'd be expecting consistency. Like if you buy the filament today and you buy it again in 3 months, if the shades are kind of different or if it prints different, like I wouldn't be surprised. The eSun from Inland has become amazing, but it was total garbage. I think Inland changed their manufacturer that they white label from. Yeah, I've been using quite a bit of eSun and I've been pretty happy with it. I mean, I think I talked about that in my last video at the beginning of it, that like, I feel like 3D printing filament is like ice cream flavors. There's so many of them out there and everyone has their own preference. Like you can go, if you go into a room of people obsessed with 3D printing from like different places and ask, what's the best filament or what's your favorite? Like the answers are always gonna be different. GST 3D filament is good, but spooling is horrible. It has to be babysat the entire time. I rolled the dice and hated it. Gotcha. Yeah, I've seen mixed things in the Discord. I know at least 1 or 2 other people I've seen at least 1 or 2 people with, I use GS3 without any problems. Yeah, I see mixed results on the GST 3D. I mean, compared to like, if you can get 10 rolls of that for $100 versus getting 1 spool for $60 of the recycled PLA from Protopasto, like I would say, if you're looking for cheap, like, you know, you roll the dice. Back in the day when my Hotend was a bolt with chrome wire running around it. All we had was crap ABS, then came crap PLA, which was night and day for us to print with. But with PLA, it was literally so poorly dimensioned, you could see the ripples in the filament. Still night and day versus ABS, but that's all we had. Rocky Road is the best. I think I responded to you. I did respond to you. Rocky Road's like one of my dad's favorite. That and mint chocolate chip. I freaking love Rocky Road, man. I love all sweets. But, I do agree, Mo, and I also have said that before that, and it sounds like you've been printing for a long time, but in 2014 is when I got my first printer, and ABS was the most accessible filament out there. Let's go back to this side cam. And the PLA that I got back then, some of the stuff was garbage. And tolerances, like you said, where you can feel it with your finger, like, wow, there's a bulge here that wouldn't go into the extruder because of how inconsistent the outer diameter was. And then nowadays, I feel that most filament that exists, not all, I'm sure there's some overnight companies, but most filament that exists now, I think, is pretty good. It's way better than it was back then, but I think that it's also pretty good. And again, I'm not saying there's not a difference between the cheapest filament you can get and something like Prusament or you know, KVP like you mentioned, but all I'm saying is like the gap between the two is closing, and it has been closing to where the bad stuff is getting much better than it was, if you can call it bad stuff, the cheap stuff. Asker off the bed, your chats are great, love you. Hey, thanks for stopping by, man. I think this is maybe I'm wrong, but this feels like the first stream you've caught, and I know that you always comment on almost every video. Super kind words, so it's nice to hang out, and I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you have a great night. Inappropriate says I gotta go, see you on Discord. Cool, we're gonna end it pretty soon, actually, because it's getting around food o'clock to me as well. Belgium looking here. Kyle Hall, how quiet is this machine? This machine is really quiet. So I was just stating that, like out of the last so-and-so, I don't know how many machines I've reviewed, but this is the quietest I think that I've reviewed in a bit. The motion is like, I mean, there's a little bit of noise from the motion, but damn is it quiet. The fan is by far the loudest factor, and to me the fan is way less whiny than some of the fans I've seen on 3D, like other 3D printers. So yeah, I would certainly say that if noise is a big factor, then I would say from what I'm seeing so far that this is a great candidate for a quiet 3D printer. No super chat available, man. The requirements are 1,000 subscribers, and I think, man, it's let me see here. There's 2 requirements. One's 1,000 subs, and the second one, oh, you know, it's been a while and I haven't said it. If anyone that is watching has not liked the stream, please hit the like button. It really helps out the channel and, you know, helps to bring more people in. So let me see here. If I go to, 1 second here. The second requirement is like watch hours, and it's a pretty decent requirement as far as like, let's see. Okay, so yeah, the requirements are 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours. We are currently at 2,214, so we're a little bit over the halfway point. Yeah, I would definitely say this thing's on sale from them too right now for like 280 bucks. So if you want to take a look, I would definitely say check it out. Yeah, the part cooling, even with the part cooling, I don't think it's loud, but you certainly could swap it out. Thank you, Tunky. I think we'll end it here, guys. It's getting right up on the 3-hour mark. So I think we'll call it, because we did what we want to do. We got the machine set up, we took it apart, looked underneath it, looked at the hot end, saw what we thought was smoke, which again, I think was just oil because everything seems totally fine. And yeah, so far so good. I will post the results of this torture test. It's like a 5 or 6 hour print roughly. So I will post the results over in the live stream channel on Discord as well as over on Twitter so we can take a look at it in this awesome protopasta filament. And then I will also be, we will be streaming next week because I don't think Christmas is until Friday. So we'll be streaming next Wednesday, same time, noon, and we will be building the, the Printer Mini. Don't, there's my address. There we go. So that'll be fun. I'm excited to kind of see what the experience is all about, and I think that there's some, I think they give you Haribo, the little gummy bears, so I'm excited for that. But there's discounts out for them soon. Okay, cool. Camera's a little, oh shoot. Thank you. It's because I was focusing on the castle. I appreciate you guys. Anyways, thank you guys all for hanging out. As always, you guys rock, and I hope you have an awesome week. I'll see you guys. Video will be out Saturday. That is on the Hallett 1, a revisit on it, and it is a very different machine. And then, yeah, we'll be back to streaming next Wednesday. So I hope you guys all have an awesome weekend, and if I don't see you next week, have a great Christmas, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you all.